It's Press Pass with Jack Ebling, Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate. Now let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and welcome to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It is time to meet Team 258, Tom Crawford. Bluebelly Tom, my longtime broadcast partner and co-host of The Drive with Jack and Tom.
Thanks, man.
Spotlight Radio Network. Go to jackandtom.com. Yes, he will be there tomorrow. He is there tonight. He always comes regardless. Rain, snow, sleet, Michigan losses. A lot of people worried about you, Tom. You weren't going to make that trip back safely.
Well, I made it home. And these are getting really old. I don't know if I could do too many more of these press passes after Michigan losses, but we're going to make the best of it tonight. I got the Rico call over last night.
Yeah.
I just looked at the lion right in the jaw. Got that done with, but I'm sure there's more to come today. Something tells me.
It was not as tough as 2015 when you had to drive me back from Ann Arbor, right? That was tougher to deal with. Much tougher.
Yeah, but this was about expectation, and this was about hope, and
it was a fun phone call.
Well, let's just see how the show goes. You know, onward.
Got the phone
Hashtag
call?
onward, as Jim Harbaugh would say.
Got the phone call, said everybody in the room, hey, look who's calling. Let's put it on speaker.
Rico Beard, he is a longtime Detroit radio and TV personality. Specs Howard, broadcast instructor, recruiting insider, and he is the host of the Spartan Beat, weeknights from 6 to 7 on the Spotlight Radio Network. I imagine you've had worse nights than last night, right?
I've had worse nights, as you would say, it beats a sharp stick in the eye.
Yeah.
You know, watching the game, and Michigan's been in the submarine. They didn't have a spring game. We really haven't seen them. There's a lot of hype around them, and we found out it was Groundhog's Day. It was the same as it's been before, and as it will be again. I mean, it is what it is. To steal a phrase from someone that I know.
I said that Jim Harbaugh is now giving chocolate milk a bad name. Sean Paligian, veteran voice, Michigan sports, play-by-play man for Wayne State, and now he is the game day co-host of the Detroit Lions Radio Network and a lot of other things on WJR. It's rare to have you off on a Sunday. You had this Sunday and next Sunday, the Monday night game, and boom.
Yeah, this was a great college football weekend. You know, I mean, honestly, had a chance to come up here on Friday, and yesterday, came up with my son and Rico. Like you said, I mean, this was the same as it ever was weekend. I mean, you had Michigan State struggling with a team like Utah State. I mean, where have we seen that before?
We're going to talk about that in just a minute. We'll be back on Press Pass.
David Chapman Agency partners with Fox 47 to bring the NFL and college football to you. Our team will partner with you for all your insurance needs.
Experience the versatility of utility at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
If I love anything, it's my work.
So you're a nurse?
No, I'm a surgeon.
You got the best hands in the business.
Poetry.
You got 1 star. She told me my uterus sucked.
It did suck. I don't have time to give updates on how the surgeries went one by one. Lewis is doing fine. He's in recovery. Raj is in the ICU. It's touch and go. Prescott's dead.
What?
The meaner she is, the more I'm in awe of her. Are you sure you don't want even a little local to numb it up?
What for? Could you back up your cologne? Fix your face. Don't be an ass.
Don't do this.
The patient would die.
Stop!
That's normal.
I'd like you to give a guest the grand tour of Chastain Park.
Do I look like a welcoming committee?
Not to point out the obvious here, but you are a badass.
You should go now.
Download the Fox 47 News app and stay connected everywhere you go. Chris, this is like some of the cars the Graff family has sold over the last 104 years.
Yeah, no power steering, no radio, no GPS, no OnStar. Boy, a lot's changed.
Yeah, and for the good. But some things haven't changed.
Like making friends and saving people a lot of money.
Drive away a 2018 Silverado Double Cab 4x4 as low as $148 a month. Or get a new Equinox LT starting at just $109 a month.
It's our annual anniversary sale, and you're getting the presents.
During our Graff anniversary sale going on now at every Graff dealership.
The Student Bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Going Green segment, brought to you by Graff Chevrolet, a trusted friend with 104 years in the automobile business. Stop and see Matt, Mark, and Greg on West Grand River and Okemos. They'll take great care of you as they have on all 6 of my leases and purchases. Go green, go Graff.
Great fourth quarter comeback by our football team again. Another opening game that's tight. Got to clean up some mistakes, obviously. You take points off the board a little bit, and with some penalties inside the 5, and those should be touchdowns, so that's disappointing. But you got to give Utah State credit. I thought the quarterback played extremely well, stopped the run, but he made some throws and there were some catches. Hey, we found a way to win the football game. I thought Felton came up big with a couple big catches. The work comes up big as well. Had some mistakes, obviously, but the ability to run the ball in the second half, I think, helped our cause a little bit, and not just take questions. But as Coach Perlis used to always say, they all count one, so that's what I'm basically building on this one.
First of all, they don't all count one. A win over Utah State is not the same as a win over Michigan or Ohio State, but we'll let that go for now. Rico Beard, you hear Mark D'Antonio talking, and you were confident when they were down by a point in the first half when I saw you at the elevator. We were riding down at the end of the game. They're a point down, 31-30. You said, it's no 100% chance of a victory. What did we learn from a game that was closer than just about everyone expected? Spartans 23.5-point favorites. And what would have happened if Felton Davis had not made that diving catch on a play that was designed to go elsewhere?
Well, shot me with a bunch of questions. The reason why there was no panic, kind of like I said in the first segment, it was Groundhog's Day. This is what Michigan State does. They come in, they're heavily favored, and they never cover. D'Antonio does just enough to win. It was a lot of bad penalties that you can't get to the 1-inch line twice and then pick up a penalty and bring yourself back, taking 2 touchdowns off the board.
They don't blow teams out, but they're usually not behind with 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
Well, I think what happened, Jack, and I hate to say this, I think they were on cruise control until Lewerke threw the pick 6. And then all of a sudden things got real, life came at them fast, and then they picked up the pace. And then, Felton Davis made great catch after great catch. If he doesn't, maybe we're talking about 2 teams right now.
Here you see the play, Rico, where he spins out and diving grab. And Lewerke did that little loop to the left that he's famous for. That was a key play.
I think they're going back to the days of the 70s. Check his gloves for Stickum. I don't understand how he catches these balls. But it's truly like, it's almost like he's a superhero. He can just catch balls like never before. He's going to make it in the NFL just off of that. Very much like DeAndre Hopkins for the Texans. Just makes difficult catches look easy.
Sean, when you think about Michigan State and what Utah State did to try to attack it, a lot of short passes, did they give MSU opponents a blueprint, or is this something the Spartans can build on? They did hold Utah State to 25 rushing yards, made a boatload of mistakes that seemed to be correctable.
That's the only thing that's different about this one as opposed to the games from the past, Jack. And what I mean is this. We can do them all off the top of our head, like Rico was saying. There's Florida Atlantic. There's the South Florida game. There's a couple games against Western Michigan. Been there, done that. The only thing that was different this time was they were exposed defensively. That's the only difference to me, because before it was the offense sputtering. We can't get the run game going. What's wrong with this quarterback? Defensively was the shock. But I'll say this, my concern level is equally as low as yours, Rico. If we hadn't been there and done that before, I think I'd be a lot more concerned.
It reminded me a lot of the Western Michigan game at Western Michigan, where it looked like they were in serious jeopardy of losing that game.
Sure.
Tom, you were there as well.
I was.
Michigan State did have over 100-yard advantage. They did give away 8 points with a pair of brain-dead penalties inside the 5-yard line, once at the 1. Do you want to revise your projection of an 11-1 record for Michigan State?
I don't revise. I make a proclamation on a season record, and I stick with it and see how close I come with that. So I'm not into this revision.
Do you think you're going to hit it now?
I think it still could. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what I thought, and like it is, it's deja vu for Michigan State in these Friday night games in August. They're just kind of go through. I don't think Mark D'Antoni was toying with Utah State. I think I was in section 21. There were a lot of nervous Michigan State fans. Yeah. And I tell you what, when that offensive line was sputtering in the first, Coach Ewan's not being in there, that O-line's got some issues. Maybe not to the level of Michigan, but there's some issues there because it was jailbreak early on, and you're giving up over 300 yards passing. That is cause for concern.
But there were some things I think you can really build on in this game. First of all 3 wideouts looked terrific.
Right.
Cole Haan, there were questions even after the spring game. Mark D'Antonio said, well, we got to find a kickoff guy. Found a guy who had 6 touchbacks.
Didn't know what that was.
When's the last time Michigan State had 6 touchbacks?
He poked it.
Boris Schlapak or something, right? You got to go way back.
Tom Burney.
And I don't know about that last play by Joe Bocci. I'd like to measure his vertical on that. But to go up and tip that ball, here I think you're going to see it. He goes up, tips it at the peak, and you see it from the other angle. You realize exactly how high he is.
You had to see it in slow motion.
With it.
Yeah, you had to see it in slow motion, not in the actual game speed, to realize how athletic that move was.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to talk about some other athletes coming up from Notre Dame. We'll be right back with our Out of the Blue segment up next on Press Pass.
Team spirit, face paint, more cowbell. Dean Trailway's motor coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
If you're not well, but it's not an emergency, choose Sparrow Fast Care for things like infections, the flu, allergies, even the common cold.
But if you need x-rays, stitches, or to mend some broken bones, then choose Sparrow Urgent Care.
From Lansing, DeWitt to Okemos,
to East Lansing, Mason, and Grand Ledge, and now open on Michigan Avenue in Lansing.
Walk in or check in online at sparrowcares.org. Sparrow Fast Care
and Sparrow Urgent Care.
Healthcare at the speed of life.
Lil Rel Howery stars in Rel. Special preview Sunday, September 9th on Fox.
Get slab happy this Labor Day weekend. Enjoy a whole slab of slow smoked barbecue ribs for only $13.99 from Happy's Pizza. That's a $5 savings. Limit 2 slabs. Offer valid now through Labor Day. Call 1-800-BE-HAPPY or order online.
Get in the game during the Honda Summer Spectacular event because you should be driving a Honda from Capital Honda.
With the new Fox Sports app, you can stream live sports from anywhere. Plus, get instant scores, the latest stats, news, and real-time alerts for all your favorite teams and leagues. Never miss a moment of your favorite sports. Download it now from your app store.
David Chapman Agency partners with Fox 47 to bring the NFL and college football to you. Our team will partner with you for all your insurance needs.
At Happy's Pizza, you can pick 2 for $7.99 each. Choose from a large pizza with 2 toppings, a 10-piece jumbo shrimp with fries, Happy's famous rib tips with fries, or a full pound of Happy Wings. $7.99 each. When you pick 2, only at Happy's Pizza. 1-800-BE-HAPPY or order online.
The guys really prepared well for this ball game. Not the outcome we
we anticipated or wanted, but we just got to dig deep, make no excuses, give credit to Notre Dame, and move on to the next week.
Jim Harbaugh at Notre Dame Stadium last night after the Wolverines' 24-17 loss to the Fighting Irish. Didn't look like you'd ever seen a hurry-up offense toward the end of the game. So much time was ticking off the clocks. Tom, being closer than we were, watching it on television between storm updates, what was the most disappointing part? Now Michigan is 9-9 in the last 18 games, and it stretches the string of losses to ranked teams on the road to 17.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of takeaways, and they're mostly negative for that. I mean, the easy takeaway is to beat on the quarterback or the coach, and those are two easy. And Shea Patterson, it wasn't his fault. I mean, this was literally jailbreak. It goes back to the offensive line. Yeah. I mean, and it's not just the tackle play, but Cesar Ruiz let some stuff up front. I mean, that's when you have a running game, besides the pass protection, Jack, when you have a running game that musters 33 carries, 58 yards, this is the same continuing pattern. That frustrated me, number one. Number two is the defense. First two possessions, 75 yards, 96 yards. It's 14-0 halfway through the quarter. You already put your defense in quandary. You put you got the crowd all juiced up, and then it just, they flipped it around in the second half defensively, but just too many things, and we'll cover that on the Drive with Jack and Tom tomorrow. Yes. There's so many takeaways I got when I was on the sideline, some stuff I'm going to cover that I did not like when I looked over at the Michigan bench.
Rico, what can we take from this game? Apparently ESPN hasn't taken much from it because in their power rankings this afternoon, they have Notre Dame 5, Michigan 9, Michigan State 13, so they didn't really think that there was a problem there, although they did say there's a chance that Michigan might drop out of the rankings. I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, you know what? I guess they're going under that whole thing. It's a good loss. There's no such thing as a good loss.
No one's saying it's a good loss. I have not heard that from anybody. I'm just saying no one said it. You're fabricating stuff.
No, I mean Notre Dame. I mean ESPN moving them up in the power rankings is saying it was a good loss. It's basically you tried, here's some orange slices, drink some Gatorade, stop cramping. What I saw in that game, Michigan is what it is. It's exactly what I thought they are. They're a decent to average team. That when they play talented teams, especially on the road, they look pedestrian. They can't get it done. They look as if this, I don't understand, what is this mobile quarterback thing? Are you allowed to run? It's like, guys, they've been doing this for years. So, no. This vaunted number 2 defense, when they play against real teams, they're not that good. They pad their stats against the SMUs of the world. They'll hold them to 100 total yards. But when they play real teams,
your man Ambry Thomas, big play, and kept Michigan in it.
If it wasn't for him, was Rashawn Gary even playing yesterday? Because I don't recall hearing his name.
He had 4 tackles.
Okay. Chase Winovich was playing. He was all over the place, and maybe too much involved in the play.
Critical play, though. When you have your helmet down, when you have your helmet looking at the ground, you're going to get ragged. That was a critical.
Yeah, this Ambry Thomas touchdown, that was the spark. If it wasn't for that, that thing was about to become a blowout.
It was a 7-point game. Was it really a 7-point game?
Well, the mistake. I mean, it goes back to special teams. I mean, when you have a fumbled,
Michigan's defense will come on the field,
as we're seeing right here.
Is that trouble with the snap?
Yeah, that's another trouble with the snap. Yeah. Will Hart, the backup or the punter, his backup punter became the punter. I mean, that's attention to detail. Yeah. This is when my Michigan brethren will call me here last night. Is detail. This is what is frustrating Michigan fans more than anything right now.
I know this isn't going to be popular with a lot of people, but I don't think all the problem is the players. I think that you can go back through from the first game against Utah on. I think it goes way up the chain of command. And the Jim Harbaugh that I saw at Stanford, and the Jim Harbaugh did such a good job with the 49ers, I don't think he's arrived in Ann Arbor yet.
I'm glad to hear Tom say 2 things, because there are 2 things that bother me when the excuses come out for Michigan. Yeah. And you talked about both of them, so props to you. Number 1, their play calling. Why more people aren't calling, it blows my mind. Absolutely. And number 2, you guys both hit on this. Their defense, forget about it in big games.
We'll be right back. The big picture. We'll talk about the rest of the college football landscape.
Horsing around, Sundance, St. John's Savings, Buicks, and GMCs. Come see us.
Central.
I loved growing up in Michigan. I know what it's like to run down to the lake every day in the summer. I love going biking, enjoy the beautiful scenery of Michigan and everything that Michigan has to offer outdoors, which is a lot.
We've been doing this work for almost half a century together. That's why people call us Michigan's first family of law. Chances are we've probably helped someone you know.
Get it while it's hot. Ow! An all-new MasterChef, Wednesday on Fox.
Chris, this is like some of the cars the Graff family has sold over the last 104 years.
Yeah, no power steering, no radio, no GPS, no OnStar. Boy, a lot's changed.
Yeah, and for the good. But some things haven't changed.
Like making friends and saving people a lot of money.
Drive away a 2018 Silverado Double Cab 4x4 as low as $148 a month, or get a 2018 Malibu LT as low as $106 a month.
It's our annual anniversary sale, and you're getting the presents.
During our Graff anniversary sale going on now at every Graff dealership.
The student bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Hello, my name is Dr. John Braccio, psychologist. If you or your child have problems with focus, inattention, sitting still, memory, concentration, these are traits of ADHD. Visit us at drjohnb.com.
Summer's $1 Million Musical Party invites you to play along.
How long get that money? First category is 90s, which is probably the time your flannel was still cool.
Beat Shazam, all new Tuesday on Fox.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for The Big Picture, brought to you by Dean Trailways. With trips for every season, Dean takes care of the details so you can enjoy the experience, including daily casino runs and great getaways to northern Michigan and Chicago, where Doug Warren and I were last month for the NFL Legends Classic. That's Dean Trailways, your favorite ride. Penn State yesterday entertaining Appalachian State. Guess you never want to play App State on September 1st. But Trace McSorley, the first score of the game, and it looked like Penn State was in pretty good position. They're breaking a 10-10 tie, and Penn State builds a lead. Looks like they've got this game under control. Suddenly, back comes App State, and a pass to KJ Hamler, who a lot of people thought was going to be a Spartan. And here's the play that won the game, a tremendous interception by Amani Oruwariye. And that's really the play that saved Penn State. Who knows what would have happened? Or they'd gone for two if they had scored there? Craziness. Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah, if they had that opportunity.
Sean, nearly did it again, 11 years to the day from the miracle at Michigan. And when you think about the Mountaineers and what they're capable of doing, it's not the first time, won't be the last time. What were you thinking when they were up 38-31 late in that game?
Well, everybody remembers where they were that moment. I mean, if we're being adults about it, Michigan fan, Michigan State fan, everybody remembers where they were that day. To me, I was thinking about, I had some questions about Penn State coming in, and it was verified yesterday. I think this is a young Penn State team. We've heard so much about their great recruiting classes, but we know how great recruiting classes have sometimes worked out in the Big Ten. That's the first thing that jumped out to me. That was as crazy a fourth quarter as you're going to see. I don't know how much of the game you guys saw.
Yeah,
that was a crazy fourth quarter, very enjoyable. Yeah. Penn State's lucky. They're lucky.
It was actually 31-24 that Penn State was ahead, and then 3 straight touchdowns for App State. Tom, we interviewed Amani Oruwariye in Chicago,
Good dude.
And to see him make that play, but that could have been the end of Penn State's season before Labor Day.
Yeah, we were watching the game in the Penn State, or in the Notre Dame press box, watching Penn State fall. But, you know, no one's shocked by this because always week number one, look at Michigan State. They were struggling, you know, obviously Utah State. This is what happens early on. So, and I'm with Sean. I'm really reserved on my judgment on Penn State, particularly defensively, and that was validated indeed yesterday. So we'll see how that plays out as the season goes on.
Rico, you've known Mike Weber for a long time. I don't think anyone really knew what Dwayne Haskins could do. But with the 77-point outburst versus Oregon State, did they do more than prove that all OSUs are not created equal?
They showed that they're clearly the class of the Big Ten.
Okay.
They showed that it's Ohio State's world, and the other 13 teams are going to pay rent to them at the first of each month.
Yeah.
Whether Urban Meyer's there or not, they're not there to have Boy Scouts. They're there to win football games. Yeah. So say what you want about the offseason. And yes, they just reload. They're the Big Ten equivalent to Alabama, where they're the jewel of the class. You try to set all your schemes up, and you ask yourself, can we beat Ohio State? If the answer is no, you go back into the laboratory until you come up with something that can beat the Buckeyes.
Guys, we have talked, Tom, we have spent a lot of time talking about Ohio State and Maryland and conduct and how this whole thing is going to play out. But Maryland, with a big win now over Texas, Tom Herman sitting there looking and he looks across the sideline. And
I know.
Unbelievable.
I know. And when you look at Texas, I mean, Texas and Michigan, a lot of comparisons on a national.
Tennessee in there, too.
Yeah, Tennessee, and they have a new coach, Jeremy Pruitt. Boom, they get smacked around by West Virginia. So there's a lot of stories.
West Virginia was favored in that game.
Well, I know, but they got smacked 40-14 at home in Knoxville. Not a good look for Tennessee.
I just wonder, Sean, how resilient players are in this day and age, where sometimes you take the coach away, whatever, that just makes them more focused.
Yeah, it really does seem that way. I mean, maybe we grew up in an era where there was momentum and guys were soft and would crumble, but to me, it's almost the opposite direction now. It's the, oh yeah, I'll try. Maryland played like an oh yeah team yesterday. To me,
against the world.
Yeah, they really did. They were like, oh cool, this is what's going on. We're going to show you. Chess was out, and Texas went Texas. Yeah. I mean, they did. They went Texas.
Everybody hates you, and you got to go out there because nobody expects you to win. Yeah. You suck.
Oh, it's against the world.
Yeah. Well, and actually, no one was there at FedEx. I mean, that place, there must have been 3,000 fans there.
I don't know how much of this game you were able to see in South Bend, Tom, but Auburn's won over Washington.
Saw that.
Those are two very good football teams.
Yeah. No shame for Washington.
No.
That's a good team, and they could wiggle their way back into the national picture if their league is tough enough in the Pac-12.
It was basically a road game, but that's the question. If the whole Pac-12 has been devalued now, what does the championship mean in that?
You have to have an Arizona State, a USC. Somebody's got to step up and be that team.
USC beats Notre Dame. Arizona State beats Michigan State. Maybe that will get them back in good graces. Any other games stand out to you? We see Kansas lost. That's not a surprise.
I personally like the Auburn-Washington game because what I saw to Washington, I thought Auburn was going to run them early on. Yeah. I mean, they went, and then that defense settled in, and that wasn't a Pac-10 defense.
Well, and Alabama, we talked about Ohio State. Bama's still Bama.
It's not
Doesn't
fair.
matter.
It's not fair.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Got a game tomorrow night. Got Virginia Tech at Florida State. That'll be a fun one, too. We'll be right back with more here on Press Pass.
Team spirit. Face paint. More cowbell. Dean Trailway's Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football.
It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And build
strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders.
And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
Catch the Lions-Brown replay. Coverage begins Sunday at 11:30 on Fox 47.
Sign your name and drive away in your new car.
It's Labor Day, and Team One is working for you. That's right, the home of Sign and Drive, where your first payment is literally just your signature, is adding even more discounts to clear the lot. It's the best Labor Day sale you'll find, and it's only at Team One in Charlotte. Open Labor Day.
Not Just Guns is the one-stop shop for your home team's defense.
In a world in need of integrity, Fox 47 presents a team of superheroes that will rule your daytime. The League of Justice, bringing truth, compassion, humor to a city yearning for fairness, led by the masked crusader Judge Millian.
You're such a liar.
People's Court puts naughty people in their place. Then Paternity Court saves the day by finding out who is your daddy.
I'll dismiss your case and throw you out. Got it?
The mighty Mathis and the sizzling trio of hotbeds blaze the trail for the Queen of the Court, Judge Judy. The League of Justice rules weekdays on Fox 47.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for Paving the Way, brought to you by McKerney Asphalt, your smart choice for all commercial and residential paving. Give Team McKerney a call at 484-3188, as I just did, and give your property a great new look. If not, it's no one's fault but your own. There you see the letter, long awaited, from the NCAA to Michigan State, addressed to Director of Athletics Bill Beekman, saying that there were no NCAA violations found, and that's different from impropriety. No NCAA violations found. And they go through, first of all, the Larry Nassar paragraph, and then they talk about Michigan State's football and basketball programs from an Outside the Lines report, and so there was an investigation into that. Rico Beard, what did the NCAA letter to Michigan State prove? What did it do? And how would it affect public perception and opportunities in recruiting?
Well, I think it did two things. One, when you deal with the Larry Nassar situation, it shows you that the NCAA maybe needs to upgrade their rules, because something should have been wrong, because that happened. And MSU has to own the fact that happened.
Right.
As far as the Outside the Lines report on the basketball and football program, I think it was egregious that you tried to lump them in with Nassar. I think it was wrong. I said that back then when it was unpopular, and everybody was, well, you can't say that. Yeah, you can, okay? Larry Nassar was one thing, but because you have a vendetta to try to bring down D'Antonio and Izzo with Spartan secrets that really weren't secrets. So now it looks like, well, ESPN has just doubled down. They came out and said, we're still going to have something. Okay, you showed us that Travis Walton may have stole a bike, but we don't know.
Well, there was more than that.
No, but I'm saying that, okay, show us what you have, and they haven't shown us anything except for a lot of allegations, a lot of mud against the wall. As far as MSU's image, I think for those who can see the difference between the two, they're like validated. For those who can't, I still have people who come up and ask me, well, what's going on with the basketball and football program? You know, what's that Larry Nassar, what did he do with them? I'm like, two tired and separate things, but people can't get that in their head.
He had never met Mark D'Antonio, and apparently he had a 20-second meeting with Tom Izzo in a hospital room when a gymnast was paralyzed. Anyway, Tom Crawford, once again, we have seen these things kind of lumped together.
Right.
Should we be separating this?
Oh, absolutely separate. I mean, you can't do. I mean, I can, go along with exactly what Rico said. You can't kind of drag it.
Even have it on the same page was.
Thing of it is, what I recommend to Michigan State is to don't celebrate over this NCAA thing because I'm telling you, we're still talking 330 victims. We're still talking $500 million where Michigan State was wrong about something. I would play it tight to the vest. Go through the proper, let the investigation play out, and
there are
play
multiple investigations
and play it low key on that. Don't say, hey, look at us, we're clean.
Can Beekman at least send a selfie to ESPN with the middle finger up?
Well, that's not my style of communication.
Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm petty.
Your style.
Sorry, maybe that's just me. I'm petty.
Sean, what do you think in the city of Detroit, for example, this would do for public opinion, if anything?
It's a great question. I mean, first of all, I think Mark D'Antonio looks really good right now, personally. I mean, Mark D'Antonio got in front of this a year ago, as you said, Rico, and basically came out and said, look, this has nothing to do with us. I mean, what do you want me to do? I'm paraphrasing, obviously. This is a tragedy, and I concur with both these gentlemen to my left. This is a tragedy. Be better. Learn from it, own it, and move on and do everything you can to assure something like this doesn't happen again.
How does Michigan State, besides paying the $500 million and make a lot of necessary corrections in processes, emerge a better, safer, saner place?
Well, I think number one, there's dialogue. People are talking about stuff like this now, and I think that's where it has to start, because really there is that shame thing. I mean, there is. There's okay, I'm not going to say anything. No, say something. If something's wrong, and you know, you heard the allegations down at Ohio State. I'm going to use the word allegation. I don't know exactly what's going on, but there is this. I'm not saying anything about that. Man, woman, child, it doesn't matter. Say something. If something's happening, you know, there are a bunch of people out there that are there to support you, and I think a lot of people in the general community as well. This hurts your heart. I don't care where it happens. This hurts your heart. Nobody wants to see things like this. So I think the fact that we're having these conversations, I really think that that's a big first step.
I still think that the day of this letter, and again, not a cause for celebration, you're absolutely right, Tom, but this was a major thing. And people were saying, you know, hey, Michigan State's not going to be eligible for postseason play, all these kinds of things. And what should be some form of, you'd feel good about it at least a little bit. Instead, you've got Kathy Klages reporting.
Being indicted.
Being indicted. And so, you know, there you get that in front of it all.
Well, it's a reality check, basically, that there was wrongdoing.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone is aware of that now, and certainly Larry Nassar will never see the light of day. So,
yeah, I mean, but
I
think the biggest thing though is you have to separate it, and it was really a smear campaign to bring down Izzo and D'Antonio, and when they hadn't did anything, but I don't know.
Well, this is a good to stop. Stories are still going to be written. We'll be right back with more coming up. The Detroit Lions next.
Capital Area Michigan Works has a strong network of partners with educational and employment opportunities who are helping our community grow and thrive. Together, we are committed to creating a world-class workforce. With our partners, we are working together to grow IT careers.
Hi out there, folks. Tara Hayes from the Sundance Stores and Sundance Riding Stables. You got to come see us, SundanceRidingStables.com. We can ride by the hour. You can buy, sell, trade horses. We've got an indoor arena bigger than a football field. You can take hay rides, company parties, 4-H clubs, come on over. We love to be outside. Get away from the computers and come see us. And if you want to save some money on a vehicle, 1-800-Sundance.com. If we don't earn your business, we don't deserve your business. Sundance, come see us 7 days a week.
Capital Area Michigan Works has a strong network of partners with educational and employment opportunities who are helping our community grow and thrive. Together, we are committed to creating a world-class workforce. With our partners, we are growing talent to move the region forward.
Every night is family night. Last man standing.
Weeknights at 6:30 on Fox 47.
The Knapp Center is a historical hub for future business growth in beautiful downtown Lansing.
The Ide Company did the best they could to preserve the integrity of the history of this building while incorporating a modern open workspace.
They have been prompt, they have been efficient, and they really are a friendly, great group of people that we don't have any concerns about calling them for any of our needs.
Opportunities for retail, office, restaurant, and residential. Build the future as a member of the Ide Company family.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe, we have a taste for adventure because the only way to know how good something can be is to go for it. Try our veggie smoothies, Island Green, made with spinach, kale, pineapple, banana, and mango, and Caribbean Sea Burst with carrots, mango, banana, orange, and goji. Adventure begins with never knowing until you try, but always expecting something great. Go for a veggie smoothie at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Eat better, feel better.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Law of the Jungle segment, Brought to you by Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, your healthy alternative to fast food. Eat Woody's and live longer. I'm talking about chicken shawarma with baked breast meat and hummus made fresh in a 3-day process. That's why I'm there every week. The Woody's items are now available at Tom's Foods and other local grocers. We're going to put together a montage of Lions highlights, and we got a lot of plays that look like this, Sean. You watched every one of these, right?
Yes, unfortunately, yes. I think, you know what bothered me the most, Jack, the other night? The level of compete. And it wasn't just guys like you and I that saw that. Former Lion Chris Spielman, that was one of his comments. That was the frustrating thing, is guys are fighting for jobs, and you know what? It looked like the Browns were fighting for jobs.
Yes. Well, you're talking about Cleveland as an 0-16 team, and if you'd watch this game, it said, which of these teams was 0-16 last year? You might have guessed the guys in blue. That was 2008.
I'm not making any crazy proclamations, but look at the Browns roster. There's some talent there. Not a lot of it, but it's budding little talent. Put a little water on it, see if you can grow some of it.
Do they have relevant players playing their third week or whatever that week that was, or not?
No, not that much. I mean, it's they're going to be. Listen, they're not going to be that bad. The talent is incredible. How much they've upgraded that roster.
If you watch Hard Knocks, you could see that these are not last year's Browns.
No,
this is a team that could win 5 or 6 games, and to no one's surprise. And a couple years from now, they might be a contending team. They've had a lot of draft choices,
right?
But they've been able to stockpile.
To do something since I drafted them.
All right, Sean, convince me that Matt Patricia can teach his players to block and/or tackle in the next 8 days.
I can't do that. I mean, this is going to be, we were talking about this with Michigan. This is going to have to be a wait and see. You have to show something. You know what I mean? You really do. You have to show something during the course of the exhibition season. And to the people out there, Rico, that are waiting to see something, they didn't see anything. So if Rico wants to have a field day on the Lions, he absolutely can reserve that right and should reserve that right, because if you were looking for something, you didn't see it. This is a wait and see. I understand it. They can't be this bad. They can't be this bad.
I'm tired of beating that pinata, so my arms are tired. You go ahead.
Tom Crawford, the Lions made their cuts.
Yeah.
And they had a boatload of guys. You're going to see the list here.
All one whack at the end, right?
Now, they did bring 7 of them back. Jake Rudock, Chris Lacey, Dan Skipper, Alex Barrett, David Sankey, and I believe in Mike Ford. So they have been brought back to the practice squad. But it looked like Jake Rudock was playing fairly well. I was a little surprised that they didn't decide that he was a better option than Matt Castle.
Yeah,
now he can only play if both these guys on the 46 go down.
Yeah, he engineered the only comeback win in exhibition play. And this has got to be the last year you can be in the practice squad. I mean, this is the 3rd year for Jake, so I assume,
But he was on the regular roster before. He was on the...
Oh, that's true.
He was not a practice squad.
The first year, if I'm not mistaken, the first year, and this would be his second year.
Second year. So you have anyway. But it's probably he'll be one of those journeymen. But I got to tell you guys though, this exhibition season is a joke. None of these teams are playing anybody. I don't know how you draw any evaluation from any of these teams from exhibition play. Really don't.
Rico, one of our panelists here, and not the one who works for the Lions Network.
So that one.
Predicted that the Lions could go 11-5. Would you say that they might wind up closer to 5-11?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Especially today with Khalil Mack going to the Chicago Bears.
That was a big deal.
To go along with their rookie Roquan Smith from Georgia. Yeah. They're going the way of the Vikings. We're going to load up the defense. Yeah. Let's hope that our offense can just tread water, and we'll win some games by scoring 17 points. I think that the Lions are the worst team in their division. I think that Minnesota and Green Bay are at the top. I think Chicago, with this move, took a step over them.
Yeah.
I look at this Lions team, and I don't see anything that tells me that they're going to do anything great. I mean,
5-11 then or something, probably. Flip them 9.
That's what I'm saying. They're closer to 5-11 than 11-5.
I went from the 9-7 mark last year to 8-8, and I think they're closer to 7 than they are to 9, Sean.
That's what I'm looking at. The one thing that I need to caution, Minnesota's the interesting one to me. They've been on the NFL elevator a little bit. And what I mean by that, up and down and up and down. Remember, the Lions have beat them 3 out of the last 4 times. Yeah. I mean, that's the funny thing about that. So we'll wait and see, but there's a lot of work to be done.
But Yeah, remember, they got 2 victories last year because Aaron Rodgers pretty much died before the season. I mean, during the season for Green Bay.
True.
So that's 2 more losses that you're going to have.
I want to get back to the Khalil Mack acquisition by the Bears because this kind of move has been talked about with the Lions. And the idea is, no, we're just going to play it. We're going to go through the draft. We don't want to give up too heavy a price. Matthew Stafford has been in this league now since 2009. And I watched the Lions' inability to get to the quarterback. I don't care what it takes. I want Khalil Mack or somebody like that who can affect the quarterback.
I feel the same way. You know, it was interesting. I talked to some national beat writers, and they were with me. They didn't see what all the hubbub was about with the Bears. You had a guy like Mack. All of a sudden, that changed. That's a game changer.
We'll be right back with our Take It to the Bank segment brought to you by Dart Bank. All of our weekly guarantees up next.
Everybody wants to hear, what's the forecast for tomorrow? How's it going to be when I'm taking my kids to cheerleading practice? It's a great city. Michigan is definitely a very interesting place to forecast the weather. We have changing things all the time.
At Mancino's, freshness matters. Our bread is made fresh daily. Enjoy one of our many grinders, delicious meat lover pizzas, or one of our new gluten-free options, cauliflower crust pizza. Visit Waverly Mancino's today.
This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, shop the Labor Day sale at Ashley Home Store, only in Lansing. Up to 50% off store-wide each day, including free delivery, free setup, and free TVs, too. $5 down with no credit needed, and 90 days same as cash. Then take it all home. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, only at Ashley Home Store in Lansing. Or get up to 6 years no-interest financing with no money down and no minimum purchase. Stop in for hourly giveaways and hit the Ashley Money Machine. Grab your bucks and save hundreds. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, only at Ashley Home Store in Lansing.
Get a hold of yourself. Modern Family, nightly.
Weeknights at 6 on Fox 47.
Chris, this is like some of the cars the Graff family has sold over the last 104 years.
Yeah, no power steering, no radio, no GPS, no OnStar. Boy, a lot's changed.
Yeah, and for the good. But some things haven't changed.
Like making friends and saving people a lot of money.
Drive away a 2018 Silverado Double Cab 4x4 as low as $148 a month. Or get a new Equinox LT starting at just $109 a month.
It's our annual anniversary sale, and you're getting the presents.
During our Graff anniversary sale going on now at every Graff dealership.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
Hello, my name is Dr. John Braccio, psychologist. If you or your child have problems with focus, inattention, sitting still, memory, concentration, these are traits of ADHD. Visit us at drjohnb.com.
Catch the savings at Capital Honda. New 2018 Honda Accord LX, just $249 a month. Or new 2018 Honda Civic LX, only $169 a month. During the Honda Summer Spectacular event at Capital Honda. Because you should be driving a Honda from Capital Honda.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Take It to the Bank segment. Brought to you by Dart Bank, dedicated to meeting the needs of our banking community for more than 90 years with 4 convenient locations in Mason, Holton, South Lansing, Grand Ledge, and the expanded Home Loan Center in Frandor. That's Dart Bank, for what matters most.
Had to get my little one in. Good stat. On the banks of the Red Cedar, where the school has known to walk, it's there the tea is waiting, and the Spartan a good ball.
There you see the Michigan State players in front of the student section, just as the Notre Dame players did last night after the game. They do their alma mater, Notre Dame, our mother, over there. But sounded a little bit different than it might have 10 minutes earlier, Rico.
It did. You heard the joy in their voice. It was like, okay, thank you, Captain Joe Bocci, for bailing us out, getting this game. We won. We're 1-0. We can move on. Wasn't pretty, but you know what? We're 1-0. Not everybody can say that.
Ooh. All right, Team 258.
I'll remember that. The October 21st show, I'll remember that.
Almost finished with the fabulous 5-day college football weekend. Tom Crawford, what can we bank on with the Michigan Wolverines heading home to face Western Michigan, 55-42 loser to Syracuse.
Well, for that 12 o'clock kick next week in Ann Arbor, I'm going to guarantee at least twice the crowd will boo. Number one, at the first 3 and out and the first turnover, you're going to hear the boo birds coming out at Michigan Stadium. That is going to be a flat crowd in Ann Arbor. Dobbers were high going into the season. They're all down. I talked to numerous Michigan fans last night who were calling me when I was driving back to East Lansing from South Bend. There's a lot of unrest right now in the Michigan fan, and I just think people are going to be taking it out on their team next week if things go awry.
Tom, let me help you out here. It's a bonus. Take it to the bank.
Yeah.
Bonus.
Yeah.
Bonus. Michigan will win by 30.
I'm not saying that has nothing to do with it. That's irrelevant. It's the first turnover and the first 3 and out.
I thought you were going to say one of these teams will pick up its first win of the year, but I get you.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Piling on. That's another 15.
Flag.
That may have been tired.
We're both going to be in Tempe, Arizona.
I hope it's 150 degrees.
What's the lock when the Spartans meet Arizona State in a late Saturday game back here, and the temperatures there will be very close to 100 degrees?
I think the lock is this game's going to be very similar to Utah State. Spartan fans are already feeling like, oh, I don't know about this Arizona State game. I think Michigan State's going to go in there. The heat will be the same for both teams. Yeah. I think the difference is it's Brian Lewerke's homecoming game.
Yeah.
Playing at Pinnacle High School. He's going to have a ton of friends and family there.
Yeah.
He is going to show up. Michigan State will win. I think they're favored by 7.5 points right now. And I think that'll be about right. They'll win by maybe a touchdown. Fans won't be easy, but I think at the end they'll be singing the fight song to about half the crowd, because it sounds like half the fans are going out to that game.
Be a lot of Spartans out there, Sean. I'll tell you what. Talking to people, and like 1 out of 3 Spartan fans I talked to Saturday, they're going out to Arizona.
It's a great trip this time of year. Heck yeah.
All right. Well, what can we take to the bank about the Lions season opener game our Doug Warren will cover, Monday Night Football against the New York Jets?
Your fears about the front seven are completely justified. I think the fears about the offensive side of the ball are not. Get this offensive line together. Kerryon Johnson's the real deal. This is going to be a good offense. I think they're going to exploit the Jets.
Is it possible that the big headline coming out of this is Sam Darnold? He's going to be the greatest quarterback the Jets have had since Joe Namath.
But visions of 10 years ago. Remember Matt Ryan and that whole thing? Oh, we're playing a rookie quarterback, and the rookie quarterback lit him up.
We'll be right back. Our Cool and Smooth segment, all of our weekly awards, brought to you by Culver's. Up next on Press Pass.
Team spirit. Face paint. More cowbell. Dean Trailway's Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Working with the Ide Company, 1, is very easy to do. 2, they're very responsive to our needs. And 3, as we've grown as a company, they've listened to those needs and they've helped us plan out our future in terms of growth that needs to be done at this location.
It's just comforting to know I'm working with the Ide Company, knowing that they can accommodate our growth. In that way, they're an excellent partner.
Opportunities for retail, office, restaurant, and residential. Build the future as a member of the Ide Company family.
The Ticket Machine is your local connection to concert, theater, and sporting event tickets nationwide. Our entertainment experts are ready to help you create a memorable experience, trusted by fans for more than 20 years. Whether you're looking for tickets for your corporate outing, family excursion, or vacation, we offer the best seats and the best prices. Grab a front row seat now on theticketmachine.com.
Download the Fox 47 Storm Shield app and stay in touch everywhere you go.
The
calendar is turned on the new model year at Shaheen Chevrolet. The 2019s are in, and we have to make room for them. It's the model year-end closeout sale going on now at Shaheen. Hundreds of 2018s must be cleared. The 2018 Impala, Equinox, Cruise, Malibu, Silverado, all award-winning, all brand new, and all priced to go. All from Mid-Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, Shaheen Chevrolet, where you always get the best price on a new Chevrolet, guaranteed, or it's free.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Cool and Smooth segment, brought to you by the 5 Culver's locations in mid-Michigan. Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with scrumptious butter burgers and premium frozen custard. That's Culver's. Welcome to delicious. Here you see the quickest punt return touchdown in NCAA history. 1 second.
I don't even think it was one.
Toledo, hey, the guy took the ball.
Literally off the top of his shoe.
Yeah. There was one like that a couple years ago where the guy caught the drop before the ball even hit the foot. The guy winds up kicking air.
There'd be some leakage on that offensive line there.
Just a little bit. All right, Team 258, who has been as cool and smooth as a Culver's mint explosion this week? Rico Beard, let's start with you in our play of the week.
Play of the week, I can go a lot. It was college football starting off this weekend, and it was great. I could stay here locally. Felton Davis gave us many plays of the week. What this kid is doing is phenomenal. I think he's adding to his resume of going to play on Sunday. But I'm going to go a little off the board and say the play of the week, I'm going to give it to somebody who does not get a lot of credit.
Okay.
I'm going to give it to Dave Warner because he scored. He put the play in, that little option, running back option.
Yeah.
It worked for L.J. Scott.
You know, George Mihai
And then he said, you know what? Let's run it again. And he ran it again for Connor Haywood, and it worked. Some coaches would come up with something entirely new. He said, you know what? Why? That play worked so well. Run it again. Different running back. He had the guts to do it, and it was a big-time play. And then on top of that, coming back with that two-point conversion that Felton Davis caught. That got lost in the shuffle, too.
Right.
That was key, because without that, I think a lot of Spartan fans would have been worried. Now you're thinking, okay, either overtime or Utah State goes for 2. But when you had that 7-point lead, you felt a little more comfortable.
I thought the Bocce interception at the end was one of the most
Mm.
spectacular individual efforts you'll see. And had Michigan come back and won that game, we would have all looked at that Ambry Thomas return and said that was the one that saved Michigan when it looked like they were going to get buried, and then they were in the game the rest of the way. All right, Sean Belegian, what about our game of the week?
Well, it's easy to go with Penn State and App State, but you know what? It was a win for college football. I am a sentimentalist. I am a traditionalist. Michigan, Notre Dame, under the lights was right. College football is a better place when those two programs get together. Whether you like them or you hate their guts, you're watching. It's a win for college football. They didn't disappoint us. So that's my game of the week.
Tom, did you hear anything about this series being played on a more consistent basis?
Well, I mean, we heard it all day long. It's got to be on a regular basis. 2 traditional rivals, just like Sean's saying. And, you know, they're going to play next year in Ann Arbor and then one more year. I'm not sure how it's going to play out, but they should. And Michigan State should play Notre Dame. I mean, I'm a Midwest guy. Those teams should play each other.
They joined the Big Ten.
Oh, I forgot. Not likely. That's probably not happening. All right, Tom.
My team of the week.
Team of the week, Tom.
Team of the week. I'm going to go back to what we talked about earlier. I'm talking about those Maryland Terrapins. You lose your coach, DJ Durkin. A pretty ridiculous situation, sad situation there with a loss of life. And they came together in front of, like I said before, a few hundred fans. No support for that program. Circle of wagons. They beat a 23rd ranked Texas Longhorn team. That's a good win for the Turtles. So hats off to them, my team of the week.
You know what the sad part about it is? Probably was more media members there than actual fans. in the
I
crowd.
hate college games in pro stadiums.
Agreed.
Ridiculous.
Tom Herman hated it too, and you saw him at the post-game press conference, and he could barely speak.
Yeah.
Probably figured out what it was going to be like when he goes back to Austin.
Seat got a little
maybe.
hot.
A little bit. All right. Time for our player of the week, and so many spectacular individual efforts in college football. But I want to reflect a little bit on last Sunday when it was National Dog Day, and ran a photo of our dog, Maggie, and she was fine 3 nights ago. She was jumping for strawberries, and when I got home from the game Friday night, she met me at the door, and then about 3:30 in the morning, she started to struggle, And my wife left her outside, and the next thing I knew, she couldn't come back in, she couldn't get up, she couldn't move, and took her to MSU's vet clinic, and she used to watch a lot of college football with me. She's helped me write a couple books. Now she can watch any game she wants. I want to thank Tom Crawford, Rico Beard, Sean Belegian. We'll be back next week, everyone. Have a great week.
Not Just Guns is the one-stop shop for your home team's defense.
We are Okemos Auto Collection, located in Okemos, Michigan, and we sell new BMWs, Porsches, and Mercedes-Benz. And we love the Lions. Go Lions!
Introducing the Fox 47 Home Experts. When you need help on your next home project, call an expert. Proud Fox 47 Home Experts include Aaron's Plumbing and Drain Cleaning Service and Styles Landscaping, Lawn Care and Snow Removal. Go to fox47news.com and click on Home Experts.